The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
My dear brothers and sisters, in today's Gospel, we have heard the story of Lazarus and the rich man. And the story would remind us first of the reward that we have while we are alive. But in our Gospel reading today, it reminds us also that commission or committing sin is not only by sinning by action, but the failure of the rich man in the story is that the failure to notice about Lazarus. Although Lazarus sat at the rich man's gate, the rich man did not notice Lazarus. He passed him by, just as the Levite and the priest passed by another broken man in one of Jesus' other parables. This is the Good Samaritan. In the second part of the story, the rich man now in haste finally notices Lazarus, who is now in the bosom of Abraham. The rich man notices him because he now sees that Lazarus can be of use to him. With Abraham's permission, Lazarus could go and get some water to quench the man's thirst. It seems that the rich man only noticed those who could be of some benefit to him. My dear brothers and sisters, our gospel reading today suggests that we're called to notice others not for what they can give us to do for us, but for who they are in themselves. But this is how Jesus noticed people. He attended others not because of what they could give him, but because they were precious in God's sight. In particular, he noticed those whom people tended to ignore because he understood that such people were especially precious to God. And here, in our season of Lent, we are once again reminded to heighten our sense of sensitivity, especially those who are in need, members of our community. The disciplines of Lent, especially on almsgiving, on praying and fasting, are two essential disciplines that would actually heighten our sense of sensitivity to the needs of other people. Because these three disciplines, if they are not put into consideration, there is growing insensitivity in us as human person. But when we start to give, when we start to share, when we start to make a sacrifice for others, to deprive ourselves just to give something for others, and that is fasting. And especially when we start to kneel down and pray, then we come to our senses and awareness of the needs of other people. So these are three important disciplines of Lent. And in our gospel reading today, we have heard about Lazarus and the rich man, reminding us, my dear brothers and sisters, that in fact, our gospel will speak of what we will have and what we will become and our ultimate destinations. It's true. Our gospel would speak that our goodness will be rewarded in heaven. And our sin of omission and our selfishness, our greediness would have its reward on heaven. So these are two important things that we have to keep in mind. That every day, let us make make it a point that we think about heaven. We think about our reward. That is why every day, let us always do good to other people. And let us always be sensitive to the needs of other people. My dear brothers and sisters, in the season of Lent, may have a meaningful journey. And most especially, let us meaningfully respond to the disciplines of Lent, which are to give almsgiving, to fast, to make a sacrifice, and to pray to God. Amen.
Please